Article 9 is called Blind Ass Advocate. In this section or article, we look at the people that got us here and what they were thinking. In 2009, Bob Gates, the Secretary of Defense at the time, capped F-22 production at 187 F-22s. That number had floated down from 700 to 300 to 187. This gave our national security 3 body blows and our air superiority along with it. The first body blow is when you cut from 700 to 187, of which only maybe 100 will be combat code because other needs for the 22s of weapons schools and testing and so on. You've cut the number of F-22s to the point where the capabilities won't be felt by the enemy. In a full-blown engagement with the Chinese and Russians, F-22 presence will not be nearly as dominated due to lack of numbers. That's body blow 1. Body blow 2 is probably even more dangerous. What we did when we started development of the F-22, all the money, all the research, all the work, with our natural expertise, we were at least 10 years ahead of the Soviets, 10 years ahead of Chinese, with a fighter that could carry us to 2035. What we did is we rolled out a barn. Of course, we got their attention. We're roaring down Main Street. We got a big lead. Then all of a sudden, we just take a left-hand turn and park with 187. They are hauling ass behind us, and they're copying everything they can get their hands on. Worse than that, in the interim period, from 2009 on, new systems in avionics are coming on board, and they're adding it. They're copying a lot of F-35 stuff. They're copying a lot of other technologies. So they're going to show up with good jets and in numbers about 2030. The third body blow is just as fatal in many ways. When we cut the F-22s to 187, all of a sudden the F-35 gets told, guess what? You're now the new premier air superiority fighter for the United States Air Force. In no uncertain terms, the F-35 is not an air superiority fighter. 2 wings and 4 missiles, maybe, air-to-air, does not make you an air superiority fighter. Only the A model has a gun. So what happens? F-35 buy is diverted. There's no replacement F-22s. Now all these body blows come up to one sum total, which is very important to everybody. Fact is, air superiority is essential to win a conventional conflict. In a major confrontation with the Chinese and Russians, if we start losing a conventional conflict because we do not have air superiority, we got 3 choices. We can capitulate, which we have never done. We can negotiate, which we will do from a position of weakness, no doubt. Or we can haul back and throw the famous Hail Mary, our end zone to their end zone. What's a Hail Mary? It's the thing that lands with a mushroom cloud. It's very, very ugly, and the last and least desirable solution to problems. The weaker our air superiority, the higher the odds are that that will happen. 5 kills is not political for a very simple reason. Political bias and political correctness do not deal well with the hard, cold facts of air combat. And we're about air superiority here and national security. Let me talk about a blind ass advocate for a second. What is a blind ass advocate? That's an individual, a position of power or not sometimes, that blindly follows a crippled and flailing program despite consequences for political, personal, or financial reasons. Bob Gates in 2009 canceled the F-22 production against all advice from the senior Air Force management. He fired Buzz Mosley, Chief of Staff of the Air Force. He fired Mike Wynn, Secretary of the Air Force. Every fighter pilot walking around had a gut feel we're going down the wrong path, but still we went. Gates put all of our eggs in one basket. All of our air security eggs are in the F-35 basket. Not only one basket, but the wrong basket. Why? Why? That's a very good question. And to face the reality, looking right at him. If he believed he was right, he shouldn't have a lemonade stand inside the Pentagon. If he did it for another reason, we come right back around to the original question. Personal, political, financial, what? Balance the budget, resume, what? But his environment is not the cleanest either. Also, sitting next to him is Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who also should be concerned with our national well-being. Corruption, illegal activity before, during, and after. But she's run for president. Who is the current president? Barack Obama. Nice man, nice crease in his pants. Political from the word go. His skill gives great speech. To exclusion of all else, his goal is to give great speeches. Action-based, equivocation. Crimea, Benghazi, red lines in the sand. That is not action that shows national defense concern. Now, we're not here to beat a dead horse. Those things happen, but we have to understand history not to repeat it. And they're not alone. Below them, the body of the snake, is the military-industrial complex, both sides. The military-industrial complex builds XYZ widget. That's the best widget. I'm the VP of marketing. That's the best widget. I don't care what it did or didn't do. It's the best widget, or make it look like that. That's not always true. Too often not. Too much is riding on it for them to back off. On the political side of that fence, we have the project managers and the directors, who are supposed to be the watchdogs. And their careers get involved in the success of the individual program. And once again, this XYZ program can fail. We have a bad situation. Many people realize this, but doing something about it seems to be stuck in a quagmire called Washington, D.C. Now, with that said, we don't care about all that. We don't care about individuals. We just want to learn from it and not do it again. We care about fixing the problem.